Hello guys, this is Rachel from 3rd CSE and today I'm going to be explaining my 6th exercise in Case 2 lab. So my 6th exercise is to draw an activity diagram for the given question, that is for an employee management system in which the system should be enabled with different states like nature of the work process, hierarchy of workflow, payroll and management, human resources, addressing their needs and feedback and so on. So before I go on into the question, let me explain what activity diagram is. So activity diagram basically has different kinds of activity states which mark an object. The notation of these rounded rectangles and the transition between these objects will depict an activity diagram. An activity diagram will also contain other components like the swim lane, the initial state, the final state, the synchronization bar and so on. So this is what my activity diagram is going to look like. So let me explain this activity diagram to you. So for the employee management system, the first swim lane is going to be the human resources swim lane. So this is the process where the employees are selected. So initial state will go on to the employment process, and the employment process, the employment will be the process of selecting for both technical and the on-site team will be done. And what happens is like the selection after the selection is complete, if it is rejected, then that will be the flow final. So after this we will not have any flow, or if the particular person is being accepted, then the person will be requested to take up the projects. So what happens is like this is the nature of the work process, and this is the second swim lane. So here when the person is assigned to a team and they take up a project, the project will go through analysis. The team will analyze the given project, and then the technical team will basically create a blueprint and will design the formats and so on. So decides on the team which they will decide on which team will be handling this particular project, and then project will be sent to that particular technical team. So that is the hierarchy of the workflow. This depicts how the work flows flows in this particular management system. So what happens is the technical team will perform many studies and requirements and so on, studies on the requirements, and they'll generate a plan. So that blueprint is now sent to the on-site team, which they are the team that actually performs the functions. So the on-site team will develop the project or a model. So the next swim lane is going to be to send the additional suggestions. So once a model is created, additional suggestions are being made by the customers or the users. So in the case, analysis and testing is done, and then the model is then sent for testing and feedback, and then error recovery and success is decided. Suppose if there is error, then analysis and testing is done again. So if there is no error, what happens is like it will go to the presentation state. That state is nothing but addressing the needs. The customer, they will decide that if they have any additional needs that are to be addressed. So they'll after the presentation, all those needs will be suggested. So what happens is like the other state would be the get suggestion from the customers. So if suppose there are no errors, or if there are no other additional changes, if there are additional suggestions, then what happens is like it will be sent to the technical team, and from the technical team again the same cycle repeats. Like they'll be generating a plan, it will be sent to the on-site team, and then they will develop the project, and then again analysis and testing and go on, again error recovery is done. So this is like a loop that happens here, and so this one is nothing but the decision making thing. So if it will have either the yes or no decisions are made. So if there is an error, then it will go to analysis and testing here. If there is no error, it will go to presentation. Similarly, in this state, if there are additional suggestions, then it will again go to the technical team, and they will decide on what to do further. Suppose if there are no more changes needed, then what will happen is like it will go to the next swim lane, which is the payroll and the e-management. So in this, before the payroll is generated for the workers, what happens is like the deployment is made. Deployment is nothing but deploying the projects or whatever software they have made to the outside world after all the testing and analysis is done. So after deployment, the income is obtained, and then the profit is calculated. So what happens is like after calculating the process, the data like regarding the entire project and all the necessities that are being used for the project, it will be entered into that of the database. So after entering the values into the database, the next step is going to be to issue the payroll. So this is basically e-management, and then issuing the payroll is done for both the technical workers and the on-site workers, and this, as you can see here, is a synchronization. So at the same time it can be the payment can be made to both the technical workers and the on-site workers. So the final status now going to be when the payment is made, that is going to be my final state. So this is basically the activity diagram, but as you can see, these are the additional options. We can have even horizontal swim lanes, and there are many other states also that are being used. So there are 6 swim lanes which I've used here. So this is it for my employee management system. Thank you for watching this video. I hope